Hi there, I'm Katy, and I love baseball. Baseball is back! Oh, and it's glorious. So it's the end of February, and spring training baseball has started. Pitchers and catchers for most teams reported around Valentine's Day. Position players a couple days later, full workouts started, and then we got to the best part of spring training, which is the games. Now, there are a couple great things about spring training and a couple things that really suck about spring training. Let's start with the things that I love, and that I think a lot of people love about spring training. Number one, it makes the off season shorter. Come on, we can't be expected to survive from November all the way through until April with no baseball, can we? So, we get an extra 5 or 6 weeks of baseball every year, which is pretty nice. Number two, we get a chance to see prospects that we otherwise don't get to. Not everyone has time or the inclination to watch minor league ball or follow minor league ball, even if it is their team's affiliates. So it's really nice to get to see some of those top prospects in the organization playing alongside our everyday roster players, and we get a good chance to kind of evaluate and take a look at who we've got, who's coming up, and some of those players are players that we're going to see later on in the season when they come in for injuries or to give our regular guys a rest. So it's pretty exciting to get a chance to look at them. My third favorite thing about spring training is something that's a little bit specific to going to spring training, because not all the broadcasts really give you a feel for this. I have not been down to watch the Grapefruit League in Florida. I have been to the Cactus League in Arizona, so I haven't actually been down to watch spring training for my beloved Blue Jays. I think that makes me a failure as a fan, but I'm working on remedying that, possibly next year. But you get a chance to see players in a very different light. And I think that this is actually being reduced more as they build new spring training stadiums and as spring training becomes a lot more professional and ticket prices rise. But my favorite memory of going down to Arizona was we were watching, I can't even remember who was playing. Well, it was the Mariners. I want to say they were playing the Cubs, but I'm not sure if that's right. And the players came off the bus outside the left field wall, and then they slid open the gates in the left field wall, and the players just walked through into the stadium. And so a bunch of them were carrying their own gear, and several of them, and I mean, these guys are multimillionaires. Like, this wasn't the prospects, had their gloves on their heads, just like kids in Little League. And they were all walking around with their gloves on their heads and throwing water bottles and Gatorade bottles at each other. And it was just like the most pure 12-year-olds playing Little League moment. And it just made it feel like, oh yeah, these guys get paid a shit ton of money to play a game that people love, and they're still kind of having fun. And the ability to get closer to the players at spring training is awesome. I mean, you can watch them do batting practice and different types of workouts and drills just sitting behind like a chain link backstop, the way you do in a park in a school ground. Like, it was great. And I'm hoping that when I get the chance to go down to the Grapefruit League, it'll be similar. For those of you who have been down to Florida, let me know. Are there parks that are better to go to because you do get more of that connection? I'm not really an autograph seeker, so that's not a big deal for me. But I just like watching the players goof around and have some fun as they get ready for the season. I feel like it's a little more relaxed. It's a little more laid back. And, you get to see some fun, weird stuff like that. And that's a memory that I'm always going to keep because it was so fun to see these guys like that. As for stuff I don't like about spring training, I think everyone can agree the games are pointless. I mean, they're literally pointless and they don't count for standings or points or anything. But they're also a bit silly. Like, they rotate pitchers out every inning or two, even the starters. They've got so many defensive substitutions that when you have a team like the Blue Jays that doesn't have names on the back of their jerseys, you're losing your freaking mind trying to figure out who's who. And especially at the start, they just rotate them through so quickly. And I know that's because they have a lot of players that they want to try out. But it's a little bit tough when you watch a pitcher have a great 2 innings and you're really looking forward to seeing him come out, in the 5th inning or the 6th inning, and then they swap him out for someone else. So that can be a bit frustrating. Second reason I'm not a fan of spring training is, as I said before, I feel like it's becoming more commercial. It's becoming more like the regular season. You have the regular announcers on the broadcast. I mean, it's a bit weird that you can even watch the spring training broadcasts, to be honest, because it just feels so polished and professional. I mean, the Blue Jays have Buck Martinez doing it. They don't have Pat Tabler, thank goodness, because I am not ready for the two of them to come together yet. I still have time before that happens. But, it just doesn't feel, it's starting to feel slicker, more commercial, which is a good thing, I guess, because I'm sitting here in snowy Vancouver and getting to watch games happening down in Dunedin, Florida. But at the same time, it's a bit of a disappointment. And number 3 is that because they are playing games and they are doing these workouts, we constantly have to be freaked out because of injury. Josh Donaldson of the Toronto Blue Jays got hurt the day before the first full squad practice. So you are dealing with situations where you've got guys who are very valuable and they're playing in games that mean nothing against prospects who you may never see play in the major leagues. And so you do worry that they're going to get hurt, but then at the same time, they have to prepare for the season somehow. But I just worry a little, and especially when a manager does decide to get a bit aggressive in the play. These tend to be high-scoring games because everybody's like laying back a bit. Nobody's trying to really bust it out like crazy, but it does make me nervous. Especially, when you have big value guys, and especially for the Blue Jays because we have a lot of high value guys who are old. And old dudes get hurt. It's a thing. They get hurt. So those are my thoughts on spring training. How about you? Do you love spring training? Do you watch it? Do you follow it? Have you ever been down to Arizona or to Florida? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you see, don't forget to click subscribe. Oh God, is it still snowing? Ugh. How can it be spring training when it's fucking snowing in Vancouver? Like, can we have a moment? Anyway.